Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Friday and welcome to day 5 of Math on YouTube. I first want to get started by reviewing what we did yesterday. Yesterday we did some division problems. Remember to please let Miss Sweeter and I know how you did. Next I want to talk about your assignment that you're supposed to do for today at home, which is counting the change around your house. How much did you get? Once again, please let Miss Sweeter and I know. Now we're going to get moved on to what we're going to go over today, which is fractions. We're going to do 2 addition fractions, 2 subtraction, and 1 multiplication. So let's get started. Our first problem that we're going to do is 4/8 plus 2/8. When I look at the problem, the first thing that I notice is that the 2 bottom numbers, or the 2 denominators, are the same. So that means that I'm going to keep those the same, so I'm going to keep it as an 8. Now, I'm going to add my 2 numerators, or the 2 top numbers. So 4 plus 2 is 6. Next, I have to ask myself, is it bigger on top than it is on bottom? It is not, so my answer stays the same, so 6/8. Our next problem that we're going to do is addition as well. We're going to do 3/5 plus 3/5. Once again, we have fifths on bottom, so our denominators are the same, so we're going to keep it the same. So I'm going to keep it as 5 on bottom. Next, I'm going to add the numerators together. So 3 plus 3, which is 6. Remember, we have to ask ourselves, is it bigger on top than it is on bottom? Right now it is, so that means it's an improper fraction, which means we must break it apart. The first thing that we're going to put right here is 1 whole using fifths, since that was our denominator. 1 whole using fifths would be 5/5. Next, I ask myself, if I were to take away 5/5 from 6/5, how much would I have left over? Which would be 1/5. So my final answer in mixed number would be 1 and 1/5. Now we're going to move on to some subtraction problems. Your first subtraction problem is going to be 4/6 minus 3/6. Once again, we see that the 6's on bottom are the same. So our denominators are the same, so we must keep it the same. So once again, we're going to put a 6. Now we're going to subtract the top 2 numbers, so 4 minus 3, which is 1. Remember, we must ask ourselves, is it bigger on top than it is on bottom? It is not, so our answer remains the same as 1/6. Your next subtraction problem is 7/8 minus 5/8. Remember that our 2 bottom numbers, our 2 denominators, are the same, so once again, they will stay the same. We will keep it as an 8. So we must subtract the 2 top numbers of the 2 numerators. So 7 minus 5 is 2. So your final answer is 2/8, and I know that it's 2/8 because it's bigger on bottom than it is on top, so I can leave it. Our last problem is multiplication. I'm really excited about this one because this is what we were doing before school went to online learning. So I'm excited to see how you do and what you remember. So our first one that we're going to do, or actually it's our last one, is 5 times 1/4. The first thing that we do is we take the whole number, the 5, we put a line under it and a 1 to make it a fraction. Next, we're going to multiply our 2 top numbers, or our 2 numerators. So 5 times 1, which is 5. And then we multiply our 2 denominators, 1 times 4, which is 4. We can see that it's bigger on top than it is on bottom, which means it's an improper fraction, so we are not finished. We must break it apart, and we must make this one over here 1 whole using fourths. So that would be 4/4. Then I ask myself, if I were to take 4/4 from 5/4, I would have 1/4 left over. So I write my answer as 1 1/4. All right. I am so excited to hear from you. Please let Miss Sweet know as well if you're in her class how you did. If you were so excited working with fractions again, go ahead and do some extra and you can send them to us and you can earn some extra dojos. I hope you have a great weekend and I will see you on Monday. Bye.